Social Security, and $1,304 monthly benefit checks for everyone. Now, first off, I have a quick question for you. How would you feel if everybody that receives Social Security got the exact same dollar amount of $1,304 every single month? Would you like that or not really so much? Now, I would anticipate anybody getting a benefit below $1,304 a month would probably say, yes, I love that plan. And for anybody receiving a benefit higher than $1,304 a month, I would probably would say, no, I don't love that plan at all. Well, let me share with you the details behind this because this is actually pretty interesting. Now, first off, if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for maybe the last year or so, you've probably heard me talk about different programs like UBI and GBI, Universal Basic Income and Guaranteed Basic Income. Now, obviously, the way that Social Security is set up right now, it is a monthly benefit program, but it is certainly not a UBI or GBI program. Now, super fast here, a Universal Basic Income program is sending out ongoing monthly payments or payments for a specified amount of time to everybody, regardless of demographics, the same dollar amount every single month, whether somebody has an income of $3,000 a year or $3 billion a year, it literally doesn't matter. Everybody gets the same dollar amount. That's a Universal Basic Income program, and whereas a GBI or Guaranteed Basic Income program usually has a specified group of people, in other words, low-income people in a specified area or a specified country, with an income below a certain threshold, generally it's pretty low, these individuals would get the same dollar amount on an ongoing monthly basis for a specified amount of time. So obviously in this type of situation, guaranteed basic income programs are very, very effective, very helpful, whereas universal basic income programs, not really so much because they're sending out money to everybody. But anyway, that's just a quick little brief synopsis of that, and you probably know the details again, but I just wanted to explain it really quick here. But here's what's super interesting about this. Now, obviously, we've heard a lot about Social Security insolvency, right? Insolvency simply means the trust fund runs out of money, right? Obviously, the trust fund has about $2.7 trillion, give or take a little bit. Obviously, that's fluctuating every single day. The money's coming in, money's going out, but it's about $2.7 trillion, give or take a little. It's a lot of money. However, we recognize that in about 7-8 years-ish, give or take a little bit, depending on which reports you look at, we're going to be insolvent. In other words, that roughly $2.7 trillion will be completely depleted down to $0. That's the case, right? So anyway, as we recognize, many people, lawmakers, economists, professors, all kinds of different people out there have come up with their own set of plans, their own proposals, their own set of different ways that we can avoid insolvency, or at least push insolvency out into the future by many, many years and decades. Okay, anyway, you get that. We've talked about it many times. We've talked about many of the proposals that are out there. Well, one of them that I think is a little bit interesting, they've talked about, what if we turn Social Security into literally a guaranteed basic income program, a GBI program, where literally every single beneficiary gets the same benefit amount. Interesting concept, right? Which, by the way, remember, the average retirement benefit right now is about $2,000 a month, meaning some people get more, some people get less, but then when you average it all together, it averages out to be about $2,000 a month for the average retirement benefit. The average SSDI or disability benefit right now is about $1,600 a month. Again, that's on average across the board, right? So the point being is that if we were to turn this program into a guaranteed basic income program, and then what? Index it to what? The federal poverty line. That's literally what that comes down to. So interesting idea. I don't know if a lot of people would be on board with this, but the whole idea would be is rather than having this program where some people get $600 a month, $800 a month, $400 a month, $2,000 a month, $4,000 a month, $3,000 a month, $5,000+ a month, which is literally across the board. Which is also super interesting, super quick side note here. The lowest benefit for Social Security right now is a little over $50 a month. The maximum somebody can get from Social Security right now is a little over $5,100 per month. That's a huge spread, and literally every single dollar amount in between is where some people are getting benefits. So you can see the differences here. Some people are barely scraping by on a few $100 or maybe $1,000 or $1,200 or $1,500 a month. Meanwhile, you got other beneficiaries out there riding high and dry, getting $4,000, $4,500, $4,800, $5,000, $5,100 plus a month. So you see the massive divide here, and you hear about this all the time, right? Well, again, that's kind of where this whole thing comes in, is that they've suggested, what if we just turn this into a guaranteed basic income program and we index it to the federal poverty line every single year? Well, let me give you some more numbers here, right? I love numbers, by the way. But anyway, let me share you some numbers here. Right now, okay, so obviously 2025, right here, right now, the federal poverty line is $15,650 for the entire year for a household of one. The federal poverty line for a household of two is $21,150. Okay, let's divide that out really quickly. Household of one, again, $15,650 divided by 12 months is $1,304 per month is the federal poverty line on a monthly basis, okay, for a household of one. Well, interestingly enough is that if we were to take the Social Security program, we literally turn it into a guaranteed basic income program, we index it to the federal poverty line, that would mean $1,304 ongoing monthly benefit checks for literally all beneficiaries. Obviously, some people below $1,304 a month would be brought up to that amount, which would be pretty significant and pretty awesome for some people. Meanwhile, anybody above that amount would then be brought down to that dollar amount, right? Obviously, I want to make this very clear, so there's no confusion about this. This is a theory, an idea that is out there. It's certainly not happening right now, okay? Just want to make that very clear. I think that's pretty obvious, but again, just want to make it very clear so there's no miscommunication or misunderstanding about this. But interesting concept. I don't know if that would really cut it. Now, there's other proposals out there to suggest, why don't we, rather than bringing benefits to the federal poverty line, why don't we bring them to about equilibrium? Now, equilibrium is about the middle, right? So it's not the average, it's not the median, but rather like the equal weight. For example, something that'd be a good example of equilibrium would be like a seesaw, right? A seesaw. So there's, the little bench thing, the board that goes across, and there's a fulcrum in the middle. In other words, like a triangle or something, a pivot point in the middle. And then basically it kind of like seesaws back and forth. Maybe it's called a teeter-totter. Is that what it's called? A teeter-totter? Or seesaw? I don't know. Maybe they're the same thing. I don't know. Anyway, that thing, you know what I'm talking about, right? You play on it as a kid, kind of fun for a little while, until the other kid jumps off when you're up in the air, and then you fall down to the ground, right? That's not fun. But anyway, so it's kind of the same situation there, right? Where some people have suggested, why don't we just level out benefits at equilibrium? Well, that comes in right around about $22-ish hundred, give or take a little bit again, but basically talking about bringing benefits for higher income beneficiaries down to that point over several years, and then boosting benefits up from that are below that amount up to around that point, and then over a few years of time, we're lifting lower income benefits up to and shaving down of higher income benefits, right around that $2,200-ish, $2,300 range is where they would meet, and then turning it into again a guaranteed basic income program at that point. And again, this would significantly reduce the divide between some seniors living high and dry on multiple thousands of dollars a month from Social Security, and some seniors living on a few $100s per month, barely scraping by and not being able to eat much, pay their bills, and struggling significantly. So a couple different iterations of this. Super interesting. I'd love to hear your feedback on this. Now, there's another iteration out there. I'm just going to hammer this one out super fast here, which is implementing a federal poverty line floor in Social Security benefits. Let me explain super fast, which is basically establishing a benefit no less than $1,304 a month, or equivalent to the federal poverty line, and then again indexing the minimum benefit to the federal poverty line. So every year when the federal poverty line adjusts higher, then benefits, or the minimum benefit I should say, would also be indexed higher to that minimum benefit amount. Honestly, I like that approach. I really like that approach. I think that's a common sense approach, in my opinion, a very logical approach, where we already know that, hey, if they were to do this, no beneficiary would technically be below the federal poverty line then, if they literally just raise benefits to a minimum of the federal poverty line as the minimum benefit. I really like that one because there are a lot of people that are below the federal poverty line, and we know that if we raised benefits up to at least that amount and every single year indexed it to the federal poverty line, not to fall below, but to stay at least a minimum of parity with the federal poverty line, we know for a fact no senior, no person with disabilities, anybody receiving benefits administered by Social Security would be below the federal poverty line. I really like that one right there. I think that should be implemented like immediately because that's just a common sense approach to changing the program, and we'd instantly lift millions of seniors and people with disabilities out of poverty, which I think would be probably a pretty big win for a lot of people. That's just my opinion about this. Anyway, a bunch of different proposals, a bunch of different iterations. Some of them are kind of good, some are kind of interesting, but I'd love to hear your feedback down below. Now, do you want some more certainty? Do you want to save yourself a massive headache, a ton of frustration and confusion? Check this out. See the phone number right here? Phone number right there on your screen. If you have any questions, concerns, you need help with Medicare, again, Medicare supplements, Medigap plans, Medicare Part D, Medicare Advantage, Medicare initial enrollment, anything like that, please call these people right here. Phone number, super easy. Take a picture, take a screenshot, write the phone number down, whatever you've got to do. These individuals are the leading advisors in the entire country, across the entire country, the leading advisors. In other words, best in class. They are the best at what they do in this entire country, helping people navigate Medicare. Again, seniors helping navigate Medicare. It can be massively confusing. They have access to over 20,000 plans. They're helping every single day, 100% for free. And they're looking through all these plans to find the best plan at the best price with the best coverages for each person and their personal needs. So they can see the doctors they want, the networks they want to be within, the providers or the doctors they want to see, the prescription needs if they have any at all, whatever it happens to be, they'll find all of that and they will present you your options. Totally free. Please save yourself a huge headache. Do not be like my parents and try to hack this out yourself. Use these individuals as your advisor completely for free. Let them do all of the work for you. They'll present you your options. And again, you'll save yourself a ton of time, a ton of confusion, a ton of frustration, and let them do all the grunt work for you and find you the best options. Anyway, totally free to do so. Again, give them a call. Phone number's hanging out on your screen right there. Again, take a picture, take a screenshot, write it down, call them right away with any of your needs with Medicare. If you're turning 65 this year, if you're retiring at all this year, if you're moving across state lines or county lines, whatever it happens to be, even write the phone number down so that you can call them and again, take advantage of annual enrollment, things like that. So anyway, you get the point here. Write it down. You'll be super glad that you did. And again, I'm very confident, and I think I can authentically say that if you call them, you'll be shocked, completely surprised with how incredibly knowledgeable, professional, and helpful they are when you call them. And they could possibly save you a boatload of money with a simple 5, 10, maybe 15 or 20-minute phone call. They could possibly save you a ton of money as well. It's worth it. Please call and ask them. You never know what they can dig up for you, right? Anyway, let me ask you a huge favor. Who do you know that's in this situation? Think of a few people. I know you know a few people. 1, 2, 3 people, friends, family members, neighbors, acquaintances, siblings, co-workers, anybody like that. Please give that phone number to them so they can also get some help with their Medicare. Thank you. Truly appreciate it. And they will thank you up and down. They might even get on their hands and knees and bow to you because seriously, they'll be so grateful. Seriously, I don't know. That might be a little extreme, but they'll be incredibly grateful. I can guarantee you that much. Anyway, otherwise, let me ask another huge favor. If you're new here or if you've not done so yet, please consider subscribing. 100% free to do so. Big subscribe button down below the video. Thank you. I truly do appreciate it. Otherwise, check out the other 5,000 plus videos here on the channel in the video library. The popular videos I've hand selected for you down below in the description or popping up on your screen in just a second. You'll see some videos there. Thanks again. I truly appreciate it. Please have a nice day. Until the next time, I hope I can see you again soon in the next video or the next live stream. Until then, take care, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.